Hi, good morning children. How are you all? Welcome to the class. Here, my name is R. Nagalakshmi. I have 17 years experience. At present, I am working in Oxford School. What is the speciality of my teaching? So, I'll explain each and everything very clearly to you with the help of diagrams. I am a science teacher and I can teach biological science also. So, what is the benefit to you if you listen my lesson, my topics and all? So, you can understand my lesson very clearly with the clear explanation, simple language with the help of the diagrams. Okay. So, today we are going to discuss one interesting topic. Before entering into the lesson, I want to pose a few questions. Are you ready to say the answers, children? Yes. So, all the humans have some common body parts. Do you know? Yes. Can you name them? Yes, head, face, eyes, nose, mouth, hands, legs, etc. In the same way, plants also have some common parts. All the plants have some common parts. Can you name them, children? Yes. Roots, yes, still, stem, branches, leaves, buds, flowers, fruits, seeds, etc. So, among all these parts, flower is the most important part of the plant. So, today we are going to discuss about the parts of a typical flower. Parts of a typical flower. Children, if you observe, the flower is the most conspicuous structure in an angiosperm or flowering plant. What is meant by conspicuous? Conspicuous means very clearly visible. Very clearly visible part. It is at the same time very important because it is specially designed for reproduction for plant and thereby ensuring the continuity of the life. That's why the flower is most important part of the plant. So, first of all, what is a flower? How can we define a flower? Flower is nothing but it is a modified shoot. Modified shoot where all the internodes are highly condensed and the leaves are modified as floral parts. That is the definition of the flower. So, now we will discuss about the parts of a flower. Parts of a flower. This is a part. The part where the flower is born is called stalk. This is the stalk. It is also called as pedicel. What is this part, children? stalk or pedicel. Generally, in lower classes, you will call it as stalk. Where you are coming to higher classes, you have to call it as pedicel. So, the part where the flower is born is called as stalk or pedicel. So, this stalk is swollen at its apical end. Apical means upper end. Apical means upper end. What is this part, children? Which is swollen? This part is called as thalamus. Or another name also there, that is receptacle. The stalk is swollen at its apical end. Apical means upper end, children. This is lower end, no? This is the upper end. Its upper end is swollen. That swollen part is called as thalamus or receptacle. So, all the floral whorls are arise from this thalamus. All the floral whorls arise from this thalamus. So, the four whorls are arranged on the thalamus in a definite sequence. So, the sequence from outer side to inner side are as follows. First one is the calyx. Second one is the corolla. Third one is androecium. Fourth one is gynoecium. These four whorls are arranged on this thalamus in a definite sequence. That means in a proper order from outer to inner side. I have written here. First whorl is calyx, second whorl is corolla, third whorl is androecium, and fourth whorl is gynoecium. So now all these parts we will discuss in detail. Means very clearly we are going to discuss now. What is the first part, children? Calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl of the flower. Its constituent units are sepals. Now I will draw that part here, then you are able to understand very clearly. So what is this part, children? This part is called as calyx. It is the outermost whorl of the flower. What are the constituent units? Sepals. Sepals are the constituents. If you draw the diagram in this way, sequentially means you are able to understand in a better manner. So this is the calyx. The constituent units are sepals. These are sepals. So already I have drawn with the color. What is that color? Green. Why I have drew that color means the color of the sepals are green in color. The sepals will be green in color. Generally the sepals will be green in color in all the flowers, but in some flowers, very few flowers, the sepals may be colorful. Such kind of sepals are called as petaloid sepals. Why? Because they are looking like petals, colorful. Generally the petals look colorful, but here the sepals are looking colorful. That's why such kind of sepals are called as petaloid sepals. So, what is the function of the sepals in a flower? What is the function? Sepals protect the flower, protect the flower in a bud condition. The flower first starts with bud, no? At that time, sepals protect the flower in a bud condition. Actually, we have discussed that the sepals will be green in color, no? Being green in color, in some flowers, they help in making the food. They help to prepare the food also. Why? Because they are green in color, no? That's why in some flowers they help to prepare the food. Sometimes they may attract the insects for pollination. These are the functions of the sepals, or these are the functions of the calyx. What is the next part, children? Corolla. Corolla is the second whorl of the flower. Second whorl of the flower. So, as you know well that generally the petals will be colorful, and different flowers have different colors of petals, different colors of petals, and different sizes of petals, different shapes of petals. So, now I'll draw the petals. So, what you are seeing here, children? Now, you are seeing here colorful petals. Colorful petals. So, what is the function of this corolla or petals? Being colorful, these petals are helping in pollination by attracting the insects. This is the function of the petals. What is the next whorl? Next whorl is androecium. What is the next part, children? Androecium. So here androus means male. So androecium means male reproductive part. Male reproductive part. What is its constituent units? Stamens. What is its functional unit? Stamen. Now, I'll draw the picture of the stamen. So this male reproductive part is known as andrecium. What is its functional unit? Stamen. This is stamen. So what is the next whorl, children? Andrecium. Here androus means male, so andrecium means its male reproductive part. So here now we will draw that andrecium. This is the male reproductive part or andrecium. Its functional unit is called as stamen. So here in stamen you are seeing the slender stalk-like structure. This slender stalk-like structure, stamen consists of slender stalk-like structure. Here this is called as anther. This is called as this anther consists of two-lobe pollen sac. In this pollen sac, here you are seeing the pollen sac. In this pollen sac, the pollen grains will be produced. These pollen grains are the male reproductive cells. These are the male reproductive cells. So, I think you understood the andrecium. What is the next whorl, children? Gynoecium. Gynous means female. So this is female reproductive part. Female reproductive part. Gynoecium means female reproductive part. It consists three parts. So here you are seeing, no, this bulb-like structure is stigma. What is that? Stigma. Here also stalk-like structure is there. That is called as style. So this style will attach the stigma to the ovary. This is ovary. So totally this is called as female reproductive unit is called as carpel. So the carpel consists of three parts. First part is stigma. You are seeing here this bulb-like structure is stigma. This slender stalk-like structure is called style. This style connects the stigma The round part is called as ovary. Inside the ovary you are seeing a round part that is called as ovule. This ovule is the female reproductive cell. Female reproductive cell. This is the normal information. If you are going to attempt any competitive exams, you need some more information. That is, in some flowers the sepals may be fused. For example, mustard flower. In some flowers the petals may be free. Example, mustard. In some flowers the petals may be fused. For example, China rose. In some flowers there may be extra whorl of calyx. For example, hibiscus. We can find the extra whorl of calyx. This is called as apicalyx. In the same way, petals also, in some flowers the petals may be free. For example, mustard. In some flowers the petals may be fused. For example, petunia. So this information is needed for you if you are going to write the competitive exams like that.